So that leads us to our next point. Don't forget about what you already have. Don't forget about what you already have with the presence of God being with you. My friends and I, we have this saying, and it kind of goes like this, like, isn't it crazy that? And anytime we say, isn't it crazy that? We normally follow it with like a true underplayed fact about life. And they're always kind of stupid, but they're real, like this. Like, I'm trying to think of things my friends say. They're like, isn't it crazy that contacts are like little glasses for your eyes? And it always is said in this accent, like, wow. And we all go, whoa, that's crazy. So like one time they're like, isn't it crazy that coffee is like bean water? And we're like, whoa, that's amazing. This is like my favorite one ever. They're like, isn't it crazy? This is my friend, she goes, y'all, isn't it crazy that your finger is like a little arm attached to your big arm? She goes, no, y'all look, shoulder, elbow, hand. That's crazy. And like we all freak out. We're like, that's insane. And they're all things that like you kind of can just like look at and you kind of can just like know. It's like this underplayed fact about life that we don't freak out about, but we should because that's crazy. And you know, as I was thinking about this, I was like, why does that come off so crazy to us when it's things that we know? Well, there's a difference between knowing something and realizing something. So to know something, that means to be familiar with something. But to realize something, that means to fulfill it. So sometimes I think because we know something so well, we don't actually realize how crazy it is. And I think that we do that with the Bible sometimes. Like John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his one and only son, that if we would just believe in him, we wouldn't perish and have eternal life. Like that is crazy. And you might know that because you've heard that and you're familiar with that, but do you realize how crazy that is that we get to step into? Like it says in Romans that there is no height nor depth, there's no angel nor demon. There is nothing in this world that could be able to separate you from God's great love. Like that is crazy. And you know that, but do you realize that? Because if you can realize it, if you can fulfill it, you're not gonna feel so alone anymore. You're not gonna feel so insecure anymore. You're not gonna feel so afraid anymore because you know that God's great love is never gonna be separated from you. So if you can realize it, it's gonna change your life. You might know that it says if the Son sets you free, then you are free indeed. You might know that, but if you aren't living in freedom, then you might not have realized it yet. Because there's something to fulfill in the scriptures, and all of that, all of those things, those are promises. Those are things you can hang on to in the waiting and say, even though God hasn't directly answered my request to be in this college, to get this job, I know that he is a good God and that my relationship with him will not waver because these are the promises of him.